Hey, happy day, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about the best way to keep your head above water to supersize and grow your business. How the heck do you do that? Well, keep your head above water, of course. There's a lot of idioms, there's a lot of sayings, there's a lot of expressions out there that impact all of us that have to do with water meaning trouble. Jump off the deep end, keep your head above water, of course. Between the devil and the deep blue sea. We've talked about a lot of these. Pour oil on troubled waters. And water in these situations means trouble. It means, hey, if you don't keep your head above water, if you don't stay afloat, that's another one, stay afloat. If you don't keep on swimming, it reminds me of the movie Finding Nemo, and Dory in it is always singing, keep on swimming, keep on swimming. And it reminds me of that. A lot of times in our lives and in our businesses, we believe that we have to do everything ourselves, or keep on swimming, or keep pushing, or keep grinding, or keep struggling to stay afloat, to keep our head above water. And of course, this all has to do with meeting our financial needs, having enough to sustain ourselves, to sustain our lives, to sustain our businesses, to do what it is that we're trying to do and create what it is that we're trying to create in the world. Keeping ourselves financially afloat is usually what this idiom refers to. Having enough to keep up with our responsibilities. Now, I contend that we can create, and we know that because we've started our own businesses, way more than we want, much more. We can create in the world whatever it is that we want. And you probably know that if you started your own business. Now, I've had lots of businesses, and I know that there have been times and in different businesses where it has been hard and a challenge to keep afloat, to keep my head above water, to figure things out. And usually that was, or had something to do with something I was or wasn't doing, a shortcoming in me. I know, ego, hard to admit, right? But usually that's the case. It's usually something I'm not seeing, or something that's changed that I'm just not paying attention to, or I was not paying attention to at the time. So let's talk about this. What is the absolute best way to keep your head above water, to keep your company in the black, to always be making the resources and bringing the resources in that you need? And I will contend till the bitter end that that is through personal development, continuous education, lifelong learning, you becoming better at whatever it is you need to become better at to move your business in the direction that you want it to go. Excuse me, definitely cloggy throat today because baby, it's cold outside. What do I mean by this? Now, I was thinking about this morning, and my dad, amazing man, but he had this saying, C's get degrees. And to me, that I understood what he was saying with it, but it always really kind of bothered me and irritated me because to me it meant do the minimum to get by. He didn't mean do the minimum to get by. He meant do what you have to do to the level of excellence that's required to get the result that you want out of a particular situation or task. And I always took that as meaning do the minimum to get by. And maybe I didn't interpret that right, and I probably didn't, because my dad was an extremely successful man who contributed a lot to the world around him, and lost him 5 years ago. This time of year, actually. This is kind of a tough time of year because of that. Side note. So he would say C's get degrees, and I took that growing up as meaning do the minimum to get by, and I hated that expression. I hated when people would just do the minimum to get by, not only in projects and teams and school projects and things, because I was always doing the best I could and trying to excel at stuff, and so it just irritated me. And I took that into my corporate life, and I took that into my business life, which probably made me a better manager and a better leader and a better coach and a better personal developer of the people that worked with me, because I expected them to strive to be the best they could, not to do the minimum that they could. I encouraged them and myself to contribute as much as I could, not as little as I could, just in exchange for a paycheck. So personal development, lifelong learning, always be asking yourself, what is the next thing I need to do or learn or hire done for my organization in order to move us forward, not just the minimum to get by, not just to survive. And the best way to do that is finding ways to solve problems for your customers and giving more value to people, giving more value, especially to your customers if you're growing your business. And you do that by being more valuable. That's why I say personal development is the best way, because you developing yourself and the people that work in your organization so that they can be better is the way to serve and give more value to your customers. Kind of a roundabout way of getting to it, but that's my point, is if we are all on a track of continuous improvement in our processes, our systems, within our organization, within all of our departments, within all of the people, which are our greatest resource, right? The energy and the people and the creativity that they bring to us in our organization, that is by far our greatest resource. As are you as the business owner. You ought to be the greatest resource for your company, the most valuable resource in your company, or be building a team that is, so that you can produce more value, so you can give more value, so you can go out and make the world a better place. So that's it. Keep your head above water. Love to know what you think about this expression. Love to know if you've personally experienced this. I'm not going to say that I haven't always had my head above water. For the most part, my life I've always survived, right? But there have been times where I've struggled, and I didn't struggle very long because I knew that I was the key to keeping my head above water. Nobody else was going to do it for me. Yep, you can get some flotation devices. You can float on some, what are those circular round things called? Flotation devices. Somebody can throw you a life raft. You can get financing. You can get temporary stopgaps. But bottom line is, it's up to you to create a sustainable, ever-growing, ever-increasing, more valuable business if that's what you're out in the world to create. That's it. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, if you have questions about this, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how can you use it to grow and build and supersize your business? Have an awesome day. Be with you tomorrow.